Hello Yu-Gi fans, Blagaga here. Today I want to talk about the 4 new SPYRAL cards that were announced during the last week. And we will look at each card individually, discuss some base combos, determine how good each card really is and how often it should be played. So here are the 4 new cards. The Bond Girl, charming with sword stuff, a level 3 light fairy type monster with 300 attack and 200 defense. Super Agent Spores, which is probably a reference to M from James Bond. SPYRAL Master Plan, a level 7 Dark Spellcaster type monster. The feat spell SPYRAL Assault, and a continuous spell card called SPYRAL Mission Assault. So let's start with the feat spell, which is in my opinion the best of the 4 new cards. This card protects all your other SPYRAL cards from effects that target. That's already pretty strong, especially in combination with SPYRAL Gear Brick Red. Also, you have to shuffle one of your monsters from your graveyard back into your deck, or otherwise this card is destroyed during your end phase. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a SPYRAL monster. But the main effect of this card, and this is the reason why it's so good, is that this card lets you add any SPYRAL monster from your deck to your hand once per turn. This is finally a way to search Super Agent. And here comes the awesome part. If you have multiple feat spells in your hand, each one lets you search. You can activate multiple of them once per turn. That's insane. And it gets even better. I mean, it's a feat spell, you know what that means. You can search it with terraforming. So if you run 3 terraforming, 1 reinforcement of the army, 3 field spell, and of course 3 agents, you have 10 cards in your deck that are the Super Agent or allow you to have access to your Super Agent on your first turn. But how consistent is this? So I did the math for you. If you start and have 5 cards in your hand, the chance to have at least one of the named cards is around 79%. If you go second, this is of course even higher, 84%. Now this is what I call consistency. Another card you could search for the feat spell is the new SPYRAL Master Plan. Once per turn you can add 1 SPYRAL mission card from your deck to your hand. SPYRAL mission cards are kinda like SPYRAL Gear cards, a small sub-engine of the archetype. Also, if she is sent to the graveyard, you can add the feat spell and another monster besides herself from the deck to your hand. All in all, she makes +4 because she gets you the feat spell, which then again lets you search herself. Wow, that's incredible. But how do you summon her? After all, she's level 7. Well, let's assume you control an agent. As we already know, this is nearly always the case, and we have a quick fix in our graveyard. We discard her to special summon quick fix, search for Big Red, and special summon her again from the graveyard. Then we add a new mission card from our deck to the hand. Transition! And here it is, SPYRAL Mission Assault. This card lets you draw a card once per turn if you destroy an opponent's monster with the card effect of a SPYRAL card. Either by battle or by card effect. This card works kinda like the feat spell. If you have multiple of them, you can draw 1 card for each. But that's not all. You can also banish this card from your graveyard to special summon a SPYRAL monster from your hand. For example, your agent to destroy a spell or drop card your opponent controls. Or how about Master Plan to just search this card again? The engine, guys, the sub-engines in this deck are real. So even the downside of this card, it destroys itself after 3 turns, isn't really a downside. By then you have another card in your hand anyway and can use its graveyard effect. Or what you also can do is, you summon Master Plan, if your opponent gets rid of her, you search the resort, search her again, the combinations are nearly endless. Now we want to take a look at the last card, Charming Resort Stuff. Sadly, as you already noticed by now, this isn't a SPYRAL card, but she has 3 effects that support your agent. She reduces the attack of any monster your agent battles to 0. This doesn't target, by the way. Also, she special summons your agent from the deck in case she's destroyed, which gives the deck even more ways to have access to the Super Agent on your first turn. Yes, she's a little bit slow, but you have to admit it's better than nothing. And in case your agent is sent to the graveyard, you can banish her and add it back to your hand. In my opinion, she's a really good target for quick fix, so you have multiple ways to recover your agent. But how often should you play each of the new cards? The staff is sadly the worst card. It heavily depends on the build, but I would at least play 1 copy just to have easy outs against cards like Chaos Max Dragon. Master Plan is probably best at 2 copies. This allows you to do certain combos that we already talked about and also gives you the option to use rank 7 XYZ monsters. The feat spell must be played 3 times. No discussion, no debate, it's simply way too good I mean, it searches your agent. The continuous card is probably 2 of, but if you splash in Metal Force into the deck, yes, of course Metal Force, I don't know why you're even surprised at this point. I mean, 3 of the 4 new cards basically beg you to destroy them to get other effects off. So the new spell card is probably a 3 of, kinda like the resort stuff in such a build. So we talked about a lot of things today. Combos, potential splashes with other archetypes, so basically how you can generate a lot of pluses, or in short, consistency and card advantage. But how do you use your card advantage? How do you win with this deck? Most players think Spirals are an OTK deck. Just get your agent out, destroy back row, increase his power level until it's over 9000, maybe summon a rank 1 XYZ monster, and there you go. Thanks to the field spell protection, the effect of the staff go for game. But that's not the truth. Sure, you can win that way, but most of the time the real MVP of the deck is the drone. Not because of its attack gaining effect, but because the drone is basically, and this is probably one of the riskiest things I ever said on this channel, the drone is Yata-Garasu. Yes, I said it, I said it, I said it, I said it. Deal with it. But let me explain, the drone lets you choose the worst card of your opponent's top 3 cards from their deck and put it onto the top of your opponent's deck. Yes, unlike Yata-Garasu, they get to draw, but because there are so many combo based decks out there, this effect is simply insane, kinda broken. This is one of the strongest control effects that we actually ever got. I had duels where I had a card advantage and I locked my opponent for multiple turns. I just ended my turns 2 times in a row without doing anything. And my opponent couldn't harm me at all. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, how punishing is it to tell your opponent that he can win the next 2 turns of the duel? Because he only draws cards that he can't use at the moment, or that can't harm you, that don't get him out of a certain situation. And if there's a card that could harm you, you just use cards like, for example, Mind Crash. I think Konami, without knowing it themselves, just created one of the best control cards ever made. In some situations this card just says your opponent skips his next turn, and if there's some counter traps like Solemn Strike, well, that just means the chance is increased. And in a card game without a resource system, unlike for example Magic, this is probably one of the most broken effects you can gain. And yes, I know Guardians have a similar card, but let's be honest, they are Guardians, you cannot splash them into other decks, and also it cannot be searched. But okay, enough with that. I already talked way too long about the drone and already got probably like 10,000 dislikes. Let's come to my verdict. Spirals are actually insane, I really like them. With the new support they have consistency, protection, they are very aggressive, you can control your opponent better than with any other deck. And there are only a few weaknesses at the moment. They rely on one card, your agent. They have only one card removal actually, which is also the agent. So they need a little bit more destruction. Also, they only have 8 cards. So you still need to play some filler cards, but you can be sure that one of these upcoming 8 cards that we get in the next 2 sets will probably be another mission card and be another Spiral Gear card, and with this Quick Fix and Master Plan are getting even stronger. With that said, I think this archetype is really good and it has insane potential. I'm not talking about tier 0 potential, but definitely tier 1 potential. But let me know your opinion in the comments below. What do you think about the new Spiral Drone, Yata-Garasu comparison, and about, of course, the new cards in general? So that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. And I also want to thank all the people who wrote some really nice comments in the last few weeks that I, for example, deserve more views, or they really like my videos. Like, you brighten my day this way. It's really cool to read stuff like that, and especially if you're a small channel, it really gives you enough motivation to keep on and release videos every single week over and over and over again, even though I have a lot of other things in my real life going on. So thank you all for your support in the last few weeks. Till next time, bye.